Morning. So, turns out I have a lot of running around to do today. Later this morning or early afternoon, I got to run up and get that gearbox up at the John Deere dealer. This morning, I have to go the complete opposite direction, sort of down to our farms of Berkey, check in there and run some errands down that way. So, yeah. And then this afternoon, I've got to go in the third direction and pick up my kids. So, probably not going to get a whole lot of work done here in the combine today. We'll see what happens. So first thing though, I'm going to run to east, down to Berkey, check in on stuff there, run the errands that I got. We'll see what time I get back. If I got a little bit of time, I'll do some work here before I head up to Jonesville to get our parts. If not, I'll just head to Jonesville. So we'll see how it goes. Well, everything looks pretty normal around here, I guess. I'm going to go look in the barn, just see what stuff looks like. I've been here for a few weeks since we got done cleaning stuff up and moved back to Waldron, so. Look, everything's still there. Go figure. Fields all look good too. It's frozen today, 12 degrees out right now, but sun's shining. It's a really nice day. Made it back to the farm. I called up to the dealer to see if they had that gearbox rebuilt yet, and they were going to check on it and call me back, so I'm waiting to hear from them. One of my stops this morning was at Lowe's. I got a new coil air hose. We like to keep one here on our bench for blowing stuff off or whatever we're doing. This one started leaking recently and it's a pain in the butt, and they're known to get brittle and then just explode at some point, so I figured probably getting close to that point, and so I bought a new one. So I'm going to get that installed here while I'm waiting for them to call back. Got it. Doesn't even leak. And I got this fancy little swivel in there so that the cord hangs down. It's not sticking out like this all the time. Good morning. Day 2 on today's video, since I didn't do much yesterday. Ended up just driving around quite a bit. Had to do some Christmas shopping, and then I had to go get parts, and I had to get my kids. And so I did do a little washing on the combine. I'm calling it as far as under the shields and, you know, everything but the outsides is done being washed. So I did get our gearbox back. So the plan today is to get that and the unloading auger, the vertical unloading auger, back in there and get the duals back on the combine so that it is mobile and we can take it out of here, get the floor all cleaned up, and start getting this thing put back together. So Jack should be up here in a little bit this morning so he can help with that, getting that auger up in there. Yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do this morning until I get some help, because I can't really do that without somebody else here. So yeah, we'll figure something out, but that's the plan for today. The other day I noticed that this bracket that mounts up here on the feeder house drive was broken, so I replaced that. It's supposed to have this curve that goes around in there to help keep dust from building up inside the pulley, so fix that. I think while I'm waiting for Jack to come up, I'm going to open this box up, get that auger tube out, and see what I got to do to move stuff over from the old one to the new one here. So this is the old unloading auger tube. It goes on the back end of our unloading auger up there. The reason that it's off is because we got a new tube for it to replace it, because this one has a hole in it. When we had some issues with it when we were finishing up harvest there, we replaced the augers, but we couldn't get the tube in time, so we just put this one back on, and now with as thin as it is, we decided to just replace the whole thing. So that's what's in this box. We're going to dig that out here. Shiny. I got that flapper piece off of this end. What did I do with it? It's sitting down there. But I was taking these bolts out because there's no bolts in the end of the tube, the new one. I think it may be time for new bolts. The one side of that is pretty well just completely worn gone, and it's on all of them. So looks like we get new bolts. All right, well, I don't have any of those bolts the right size to replace them ones that are wore out, so I'll have to get some. Not a big deal, I just don't have any in the drawer. I think I found one. I need like 20. So the other stuff that I need to do is to move this light and the camera, which are on these bands that kind of go all the way around. So I gotta take them off and then put them on the new tube. All right, my help is here. It's time to put this auger and gearbox in. First thing we gotta do is get that vertical auger up in there, time it right with the horizontal auger that's in that tube, which is going to be a challenge because we can't get in there to see very well. We'll try and get that up there and held into place, and we'll use the forklift to lift the gearbox up and into that square hole. Shouldn't be terrible, but we'll see how it goes here. Well, that went pretty well. Auger's in there. I think we got it timed right. We'll have to double check it, but I can't do that right now. And yeah, bolts are in. It's in place. Now, I think we can put those tires back on. Put the GoPro up there. We'll try that view for a time lapse, putting the tires back on. We've got this fancy alignment pin that helps get everything lined up to go together. You got a long ways to go, Jack. There. Okay. We put a gearbox and a couple of tires back on it, frees up some shop space for us. Get the jacks out of there, now we can get these blocks picked up. Speaking of these blocks, look how nice those are. Got this nice handle routed into them so you can carry them. My dad made those. If anybody wants some, let me know. Although you have to pay shipping because they're heavy. All right, I think the next thing that we can do is put these drive shafts back together. We had split them so that we could rotate the tires separate from each other. So we'll get those put back in here. I'm gonna go eat lunch because it's lunchtime. These shafts. Well, we're getting these drive shafts back in. We're missing one of the pins that goes in that helps hold them. Maybe we'll find it. Maybe we'll have to get a new one. That's the problem with leaving stuff apart for a couple of weeks at a time. Sometimes parts get lost, but that's okay. We'll keep putting some more stuff together. I want to get this cover put back on the feeder house here. Then I can lift the feeder house up and we can tighten this chain on the side and start maybe putting some few shields back on here and there, or selectively stuff that won't be in the way for other things. So. Okay, I put a little bit of stuff together. We got that one shield on the feeder house done. I'm actually going to take the combine out of the shop right now. We're going to clean up the floor, spin it around and put it in the other way so that we can get that auger tube and some of this other stuff put back together. So now that the combine's out here, I got a little bit of room. Pulled this old auger tube out, pulled the auger out of it, and this is scrap, so I'm going to take it out to the scrap pile. Yeah. All right. Get the combine back in the shop, facing the other direction. New auger tube. Got the auger in it. Goes up there. I think we'll try and put that back on. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay. Well, I took this cover off to check our auger timing. And it's wrong because those two augers are hitting right there. Good thing we looked. So we got to pull this out enough to turn it and put it back together. All right, got the augers timed. Putting the hanger bearings back on that one, then we'll do one on the end. While I'm in here, look, more dirt. Go figure. But this is that wire harness that I need to replace. And right there happens to be a connection, so I'm going to take that apart while I'm here. Just not while I'm filming it with one hand. Okay, so this end here I need to replace and kind of trace that out to where it goes. Problem is it's in all these wire holders. They're gonna have to come off, and it's gonna be a bit of a process. So anyway, we'll get that too. Okay, I brought a few shields up from the back there, things that we can put on before we need to grease it and stuff. They won't be in the way, and since we're to that point where we're putting stuff back together, we can do that. I decided not to put this auger tube back on because I don't want to fold the auger back in just yet. There was enough dirt up in there that I want to wash it, so I'm going to do that here later today. But right now it's fairly nice out. Dirt. Sun shining, it's mid-30s, so I'm going to go unhook one of our tillage tractors. That we're done with it. We're not going to use it anymore. It's just been sitting out in case we got an opportunity, but it's not going to happen, at least with the disc. So I'm going to go put that away, unhook it, get the tractor inside. We're going to get this tractor put inside. Man, this thing is dirty. It's almost like it was muddy when we finished using it or something. All right, that's good. Tractor's in the barn. That's the rest of the shields that got to go back on the combine and the sieves there. We'll get to them, not today. I'm sure I'll get the question about why we don't keep our tillage equipment inside. Yes, we should. I know. Our tillage equipment does not get near the attention that it deserves. we don't have room basically to put all that stuff inside. They're big, they take up a lot of space. We don't have the room. We would like to add on to one of our barns. You can only do so much. So we do go through stuff in the spring a little bit more on the tillage side of it. Well, depending on when we're using it, I guess. The field cultivators, discs, we'll go through before we start using them in the spring. Chisel obviously is more of a fall tool. So we go through it before we start using it. All right, I did my washing up there that I said I wasn't gonna do, but decided I needed to. So we folded the auger back in. We're gonna hang this tube here real quick. I got 20 minutes before I gotta go tonight, or a little more, but we should be able to get it up there. First thing we gotta do is put that hanger bearing in, the end that we had to take out a little bit ago. And then it's just a matter of lifting it up there and bolting it together, so shouldn't be too bad. We got. Hey, sorry, I forgot to wrap up this video before I left the farm there. Anyway, we had a good day. We got a lot done on that combine. We were able to get, you know, a lot of shields back on, got that auger tube put back in, got that, heck, we started this morning, the gearbox and the tires and the vertical auger and all that stuff wasn't done. So I'm really happy with that. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'm probably not going to be working tomorrow, but I will work on Monday. Probably cleaning up, maybe putting a few more shields on. I need to wash the outside shields and wax stuff and clean them up that way. So we're going to probably work on that at some point next week. Christmas is next Wednesday, so that's going to kind of make next week a little bit on and off, hit and miss as far as when I'm working and when there's videos coming out. But appreciate you watching. Hope you're liking them still. Hit the like, subscribe buttons, and check back, I'm going to say Tuesday for the next video. So we'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye.